Coach K is going extremely viral right now for the flowers that he gave Caitlin Clark on this interview here.
Praise from some people means more than it does from others. And I think when it comes to basketball, Coach K certainly falls into that category. Obviously, Mike Krzyzewski, legendary Duke coach, also was the coach of Team USA, the United States basketball.
Coach K most definitely fits that description. Mike Krzyzewski, a legendary Duke coach who also coached Team USA, just revealed something shocking to the basketball world. The legendary coach, who has 5 championships and 42 years of experience, has spoken out about Caitlin Clark and is blaming the WNBA.
Effusive praise for Caitlin Clark, really. Talking about, not making the Olympic team for her, talking about her game in general, her WNBA season in general, and then some of the attributes that he admires on the...
Coach K couldn't keep quiet about the forces against the best star in the game while he was enjoying retirement. His remarks at the Richmond Forum sparked a heated discussion about basketball. The question is straightforward. Why would a Hall of Fame coach feel obliged to defend a rookie? The response may alter your perspective on the entire dispute.
You're going to be one of the leaders to help millions of young girls realize their dreams, not just in sport, but you can too. Does not just mean sport. You can too means in everything. And what I told my wife yesterday about talking to a great player that I would enjoy it, I have to confess I was wrong. It was fabulous talking to a great player. You made my day. You know what? You are so real. I would have loved to have coached you. And you're not afraid. You're not afraid. And God bless you. I've really enjoyed it, and I'll be pulling for you the whole season. Stay healthy and stay real.
Let's take a little look back. The reason why the criticism of Caitlin Clark is so infuriating and why her supporters cling to flattering remarks from respected basketball minds like Coach K is because, objectively, Caitlin Clark not only had a strong rookie season in the WNBA, but she also redefined what a rookie could achieve. Her numbers are indisputable. She was one of the league's most potent offensive weapons right away, with 19.2 points and 8.4 assists per game. However, her influence goes beyond numbers. Prior to Caitlin, the Indiana Fever were a team struggling with media attention and barely making a dent in ticket sales. When she arrived, however, everything was completely turned upside down. The arenas broke records for TV ratings, and she was the #1 jersey by a landslide.
Yeah, well, she's terrific. I have a Sirius XM show that I have for 20 years, and when she was a senior at Iowa, I had her on my show. And it's radio, a podcast.
And to put that into perspective, some of her games attracted more viewers than NBA games that were broadcast simultaneously. That's crazy. Her presence alone changed the WNBA. She didn't just attract new fans, she made the league popular everywhere. Caitlin goes. Although some critics questioned whether she could handle the attention, she repeatedly silenced them. When Unrivaled offered her a quick $1 million to play in their new league, everyone assumed she would accept the money, work for a few months, and have an easy payday with no strings attached. However, she turned it down because she is thinking long-term rather than chasing a short-term bag. She chose to rest, refocus, and stay locked in on the WNBA, where she will grow the game for everyone, not just herself. That decision tells you everything you need to know about Caitlin Clark.
And she'll make everybody better. And what I was amazed with at how she's handled all the defenses, and then when she got into the WNBA, some of the negativity that was out there, or jealousies. And I think she's just been remarkable. Just remarkable. She's a really good basketball player.
Yeah, absolutely. Future forum guest. We'll pass that on to him.
I'll tell you what, on my show.
Considering that she has been subjected to unjustified criticism since day one, she is remarkably composed and professional. Before she even appeared on a WNBA court, the media mocked the notion that she could live up to the hype, and the critics had their opinions locked in. After she took the lead, fans responded in spades. When she won Time Athlete of the Year, you would think that everyone would celebrate. However, her rookie season wasn't just historic on paper, it was a cultural event. Her name dominated headlines. Her game broke attendance records, and the WNBA suddenly became a part of the mainstream sports conversation. Rather, the narrative changed, and instead of acknowledging her accomplishments, some former players, media voices, and insiders began disparaging her out of the blue. The hate was not about what she did, but rather about who was being ignored, and personal accusations that she was receiving preferential treatment because of her race surfaced. However, let's take a look at what she accomplished. She took one of the league's worst teams and dragged them to the playoffs. She set records. She became better and better as the season went on. She won Rookie of the Year, and throughout it all, she stood up for other players when they faced hate. The best thing we can do is to keep promoting this league in a very positive light, because there are so many outstanding players, teams, and positive narratives that can be written and celebrated. For me, this is what made me become a fan of this league. These individuals were the attacks. Justified, or were they just petty? Because here's the thing. It hasn't stopped every single time she steps onto the court. The debate reignites every pass, every shot, every foul dissected. Some say that's just the cost of being a star. And to an extent, sure, all great players face criticism, but there's something different here. This feels personal. It's not just about basketball, it's about what she represents. Some people aren't just rejecting Caitlin Clark, the player, they're rejecting Caitlin Clark, the phenomenon. And this is where Coach K steps in with 42 years of coaching experience, 5 national championships, and a legacy built on coaching some of the greatest players in basketball history. He knows what greatness looks like, and when it comes to Caitlin Clark, he didn't just acknowledge her talent, he praised her in ways that should shut down the critics entirely. She was terrific, and it'd be easy to build on her because the best thing she does is pass. She's a magical passer, and she has a great feel for the game. Think about that. A coach who has coached Jason Tatum, RJ Barrett, Zion Williamson, and some of the greatest playmakers of the past 2 decades isn't talking about Caitlin shooting, he's not raving about her deep threes or scoring ability. He's focused on her passing, because great players don't just put up numbers, they make their teammates better, and Caitlin Clark does exactly that. But then he went beyond praising her skill, and what I was amazed with is how she's handled all the defenses. And then when she got into the WNBA, some of the negativity that was out there, or jealousies, and there's the magic word and the root of a lot of the hate, jealousy. While Caitlin Clark draws out stadiums, the veterans who toiled for years in deserted arenas, the athletes who never received sneaker deals. Media coverage or national ads, while Caitlin makes headlines, it is about power, who gets the credit, and who controls the WNBA's destiny, not about her gait or even her attitude. If you want to know why the WNBA has been so antagonistic toward Caitlin Clark, you must consider her influence. The rise of Caitlin Clark is about more than just breaking records and receiving personal accolades. It's about completely changing the WNBA's economic and cultural trajectory. To begin, the WNBA recently locked in its largest TV deal ever, a $2.2 billion contract over 11 years, or $200 million annually, which is a $140 million increase over the current deal. This is the league's biggest event in decades. WNBA players have battled for increased financial investment, greater resources, and higher salaries, and now they are finally receiving it. And that's only the beginning. Sponsorship. Increased revenue from merchandise sales. Exceptionally, high attendance shattering attendance records each night and increasing ticket sales each time Caitlin takes the court. Skyrocket, followed by the Indiana Fever's wider financial impact. The most astounding statistic of all is that Caitlin Clark drives nearly 27% of the NBA's total economic activity. Read that again. A rookie player is in charge of more than a quarter of the league's economic movement. This is game-changing. A team that was hardly relevant prior to Caitlin now averages over 17,000 fans per game, which is NBA-level attendance. Although the old guard would like to claim credit for the WNBA's expansion, the unpleasant truth is that the league has been losing money every season for years. The WNBA would not even exist if the NBA hadn't been providing financial support for the league for the previous 3 decades. This is precisely why Caitlin Clark is so crucial. Yes, the league is still losing money. In 2024, it reported a $40 million loss. But the problem is that without Caitlin, that amount would have been much worse. Now, the WNBA and its players are ready to cash in. We've already discussed the new media rights deal with that locked in, and the players are currently renegotiating their collective bargaining agreement. Only about 9% of league revenue goes to WNBA players, which means that everyone will get paid more. There will be no need for players to travel abroad to earn real money. They will get better rest and recuperation, and hopefully there will be a better on-court product. In other words, Caitlin's unprecedented popularity benefits the WNBA as a whole financially. Every time her game draws millions of viewers, and every time she sells out an arena, the league's broadcast value soars, making up for the $40 million loss. This could be the season that finally flips the script, and here's where the haters really need to step back and examine themselves. Whether they want to admit it or not, Caitlin Clark is the reason why this is the biggest moment in WNBA history. If you need further evidence that the Caitlin Clark effect hasn't diminished, consider what happened with Caitlin Clark at the NBA All-Star Game. For the second year in a row, she declined the three-point contest, but this time, it wasn't about rest. Rather, it was a calculated move to draw attention to her league. And guess what? The NBA literally canceled the event because Caitlin Clark was so crucial to their plan. Given the amount of influence Caitlin currently possesses, the NBA, a multi-billion-dollar global empire, decided to postpone one of its showpiece events because she wouldn't be present. This is why this year's WNBA All-Star Game is going to be absolutely ridiculous. The game last year broke 6 attendance records, but this time it's in Caitlin City, Indiana, and the numbers will be off the charts. In addition, the Indiana Fever weren't content with having the most watched rookie in history. This offseason, they piled up a defensive powerhouse with championship experience is Natasha Howard. Danana Boner is a seasoned scorer with winning strategies. Gritty, feisty shooter Sophie Cunningham thrives in high-stress situations. Sydney Colson is a well-liked locker room leader with extensive postseason expertise. They retained Kelsey Mitchell, one of the league's top shooters, and Aaliyah Boston, the 2023 Rookie of the Year, who keeps getting better. Brianna Turner is a defensive anchor who contributes even more size and rebounding. The entire basketball world, not just the WNBA, will be watching Caitlin's club at last. This isn't just a young team rebuilding, it's a legitimate championship contender. Caitlin Clark is more than just a basketball player. She is a cultural phenomenon, and her brand is only going to become stronger. Just think of a Caitlin Clark WNBA championship. Die-hard NBA fans, everyone. Since Caitlin Clark's MVP win would be the biggest moment in WNBA history, the naysayers should calm down. They will always have something to say, compare statistics from previous seasons, and fabricate drama to get views. You can critique her game and burn her for turnovers, but the petty trash, jealousy, and bullshit are all you need. Regardless of your feelings for Caitlin Clark, she has taken control, so it's time to move on, coach. Kay described the critique precisely as it is. The bitterness, the constant nitpicking. It's not about basketball anymore, it's jealousy. Plain and simple. And that's what the league has to decide. Do they keep feeding into the pettiness, tearing down the very player who is putting them on the map, or do they finally acknowledge reality that Caitlin Clark isn't just growing her own brand, she's growing the entire WNBA? Because let's be clear, Caitlin Clark has never made this about herself. She turned down unrivaled $1 million payday, not because she couldn't use the money, but because she wanted to keep her focus on the WNBA and its players. She skipped the NBA three-point contest, not because she wasn't interested, but because she wanted the spotlight on WNBA All-Star Weekend. She's been given every opportunity to chase the bag, to elevate herself over the league, to take an easy shortcut to more fame and fortune. She hasn't done it. Instead, she stayed committed to building the game. Even if it means alienating some fans, even if it means financial sacrifice, even if it means taking the hits, and guess what? Every player in the WNBA is going to benefit from it. There will always be jealousy, but the league must remember that the players who are bitter and the legends who won't accept her are the reason we're talking about Caitlin Clark today. They created this league, they encouraged her to play, they cleared the path for her moment, and they should be proud of that because it should be satisfying, because this is bigger than Caitlin Clark. Salary increases, sponsorships are increasing, and the value of the media rights deal has just tripled. The WNBA has been waiting for this moment, and if they seize it, the league as a whole will triumph. Coach K's support of Caitlin Clark reveals a great deal about her influence on basketball. He noted that jealousy is not only harming Clark, but also endangering the WNBA's historic expansion, as some players find it difficult to accept her fame. Intelligent basketball. If you think that celebrating excellence makes basketball better, hit the like button and subscribe for more unvarnished basketball analysis. Coach K and other like-minded individuals grasp the wider picture. This isn't about one player taking over. It's about elevating an entire league to new heights. Make sure you join the trip as the WNBA undergoes a permanent transformation. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.